Trope City. Trope City.
Hey, welcome to New Jump City, everybody, where we recap the week in American and Japanese sequential art. I'm your host, Christian, the unbiased king, Espinal. And joining me through Discord, it is the man, the myth, the legend, the tank top sage. It's Joshua, Gangsta Time Cole.
Well, it's called Partner, but it should be called Gangsta Time.
What's good, Chris? What up, everybody listening?
Oh, yeah. Also joining us, it is our producer, my little brother. It is Edgelord Big News Brian.
なんというビッグニュース
What's up, nerds?
Hey, we're back. We got One Piece back this week. We got Jujutsu Kaisen, Undead Unluck, Kagurabachi. But first, we actually got plugs. You can find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Joshua Cole, where can they find you?
You can find me at JDCole_37. That's on Instagram. And at New Jump City Josh on X.
Oh, yeah, Brian.
Formerly known as Switty.
You can find me at twitch.tv. You can find me at b.esp on both Instagram and Twitter. And if you ever want to catch me when I'm streaming, you can find me at twitch.tv/itspunchline.
Hell yeah. You can follow the show itself at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram. Email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about in the show. We're officially caught up to all of our emails, so we could use some more. Please send some questions. You could also subscribe to the show. Please do that. Please like, share, subscribe on YouTube, comment your questions if you got them, and we'll talk about them on the pre-show chat show that we do every week. You can also subscribe to us on any audio platform you choose, Spotify, Google Podcast. Well, not Google Podcasts. That's about to be defunct. But Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Castbox.
Fox, bro.
You can find us anywhere, so check us out. I think that's it. Leave us a 5-star review on all the things. Keep us relevant in the algorithm, the mighty algorithm. And yeah, with that being said, let's get into the show. One Piece. This is One Piece chapter 1120, Atlas. We have a continuation of the cover story that we've been getting with Yamato, where we meet Denjiro again, who is basically rounding up all the kids who were bullying Yamato because he is Kaido's child. So, that's fun. He's also been made the daimyo of Kibi. So, good for him. He's basically rich now, I guess. Good for him. We start the chapter with a flashback to Punk Hazard 26 years ago. And it's looking lush. It's looking green. It's before Akainu and Aokiji absolutely ruined it. That's very fun. But yeah, we're at Punk Hazard and we see that somebody is begging Vegapunk to help them study the Void Century. The more they study it, the more they require expertise in other fields they're finding. And we see a young Vegapunk next to, and I'm going to piss Josh off right now, I remember who this dragon is. This dragon was a minor character in the Punk Hazard arc. It later grows, I believe, to chase the Straw Hats through as the poison cloud is exploding.
Are both of them dead? Both dragons are dead, right?
I think one of them's still alive, but the big one.
Wait. All celestial dragons?
No, they're real dragons that Vegapunk manufactured.
Yeah, one of them they ate.
And the other one, I think, survived.
What do you mean 8?
They ate him.
When they first arrived to Punk Hazard, a dragon attacked them where they found the lower half of Kinemon. You probably remember that part.
Yes.
Yeah, and the dragon was talking because it was stuck to Kinemon.
Yeah, they killed the dragon
Okay.
and then they ate it.
Oh shit.
Yeah. But anyway, that's that dragon, I think. The smaller dragon is probably like not born yet. But anyway, Vegapunk's just casually chilling with the dragon, and he denies what seems to be Clover now, Professor Clover from Ohara. He denies his request. He's just like, man, I'm a government scientist and I can't give you any data. The reason that you guys haven't even been arrested is that they're trying to round you guys all up in one place. So you guys got to stop. They're actually going to kill you. And Clover reveals that he saw a man with the name of D that was killed before his eyes without warning. And it turns out that that man was his older brother. Clover's actual name is Cloudy Clover. And he lied about, not being related to his brother, so that they wouldn't absolutely murder him as well, because he also has D in his name. So, he's just like crying because like, how is it right that somebody can die simply for declaring the name they were given at birth? And he says that there's a secret history whose traces are continually erased. And Vegapunk refuses again. He's like, I will not help you with this. The most I can do is tell you to be careful. And Clover yells that he will solve the mystery one day, and the voices of the past will be heard. And then we cut to 22 years later. I guess like 4 years after that, where it's being reported that Ohara had endured the Buster Call that destroyed everybody on Ohara except for Robin. And that would then prompt Vegapunk to go see Ohara as it was and discover the books that were left behind. And he was really moved by that moment. He was like, did you all die just to preserve this vast store of text for the future? It's preposterous. What lunatic would dare risk certain death to continue their research? And evidently, it's inspired Vegapunk to do the same. He explains that someone once said that the voices of the past will be heard, history is told by the winners, and the voices of the losers are at the bottom of the sea. At the bottom of the sea are so very faint. And he says that the truth was gleaned for the first. The truth was gleaned at the cost of so much sacrifice. We get little shots of around the world. We see the Baratier chefs. We also see Baltigo. And one thing I want to bring up, that middle panel.
Yo, Baltigo.
Do you remember Baltigo?
No.
Baltigo is where Robin was sent by Kuma. And
in the East.
Mm-hmm. And one of the other foreshadowing things about, the world flooding is that Baltigo is supposed to be a giant bridge that is being built with slave labor, by prison slave labor, in order to connect the islands. And it's a project that's been going on for 800 years.
I mean,
Damn. 800 years?
Yeah, since the Void
to
Century.
connect the islands.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many islands have been fucking connected so far?
We don't know. But
and no one even talks about it. It
Yeah.
must not be a big deal. Yeah.
Well, the reason is that, the government knows that the world's going to sink, so they're creating this gigantic bridge between nations, of the nations that will survive the inevitable flood. I guess that's my guess.
Right. Maybe it's a specific area they know they could use.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, we then see
Baltigo.
Robin crying because,
How'd you know his name is Baltigo?
because that's I remember where Robin was sent. I've also
Did you look up, but
I didn't look it up. I'm in the middle of a
you
reread
go
of
on
One
Wiki, you
Piece.
remembered his name, Baltigo?
Not his. Baltigo is the name of the country she was sent to.
Oh. Oh my God. I thought you knew the person with the whip. I'm like, yo.
No, that guy is unnamed.
But it turns out he's best friends with Joy Boy.
Yeah, watch him be super important later, Josh. This is a foreshadowing moment. You
Son.
should know.
Yeah, and then you're gonna be so mad that you didn't know his name.
Now we have the holy trinity of Galmon,
Gaimon.
the Baltigo slave driver, and Papal. Those three are the holy trinity of activating the really important thing that's gonna happen in the story.
Yeah. Anyway, after that, we cut to the Labo phase where the Thousand Sunny and the remaining crew members are. Zoro is yelling at everybody to shoot themselves off so they can like escape because Nosturo is right on their tail. But Lilith is just like, no way, we're not going to survive, basically. She just like overthinks it. She does all these fucking calculations, explaining why they just won't make it. And then Atlas just knocks Lilith the fuck out. And basically she turns over to the crew and she says, take care of Lilith. I'll remove the obstacle. So York discovers that Lilith's connection is already gone. It's short-circuited, so Atlas is the only one. I think York is assuming that Lilith is dead. She is not. And as Nostro is charging, we see Atlas spring into battle. They're getting the coup de burst ready as Atlas, does her best to protect them from Nostro. They seem to manage to fly off okay. As Atlas rockets Nostro farther away from them. We cut back to the ground area where the battle is continuing, where Emmett the giant robot, is currently fighting the Marines and the Five Elders. Luffy is freaking out because, of course, it's a giant robot. All the boys are freaking out, typically, as an Iron Giant is saving their life. And we see Emmett try to communicate with Luffy. He says, Joy Boy, I'm so happy to see you again. And Luffy, of course, doesn't know who Joy Boy is. So he's just like, He turns behind him to look. He's like, me? And he's like, no, I'm talking to you. He explains that it would be foolish to hear about... Oh, no, wait, no. This is actually Vegapunk's message continuing. He's saying it would be foolish to hear about a war 900 years in the past and only hear from one side. As Emmett continues... I'm going to do Emmett's part first, where he says that, he basically tells Luffy to go on. He's going to keep fighting. Your enemy is my enemy. Oh, I'm so happy. I get to fight for you again. That's very sweet. And Luffy's like, oh my God, you could talk. He's like, Joy Boy is in danger. I must protect him as he stands before both Jupiter and Warkery. Everybody prepares to set sail, and he's like, the Giants are like, hey, Luffy, is that thing on your side? And he says that, yeah, it says it wants to protect someone named Joy Boy. Who's that? And the Giants reveal that they can't actually hear Emmett talking. So Luffy is the only one who can hear Emmett because he can naturally hear the voice of all things. The Giants start to sail away. Jupiter attacks Emmett, and Emmett gets ready to shoot something like a laser, but it doesn't work, unfortunately. And Jupiter's forced to, I guess, pivot, try to hold it back. But Jupiter seems to chomp a good portion of Emmett's body off. It's not great. And
yum.
He munches on him. And fucking Venus. Oh no, not Venus. Is he Venus? I'm sorry, Saturn. I keep forgetting the planets.
Yeah, it's Saturn.
Saturn, super hater he is. He's just like, crush it between your jaws, Peter. Stop the transmission. And he starts to jump towards the Giant's ship. He actually makes it on, and it's kind of crazy. He even kind of dwarfs the Giants in size. And he's like, you're not going anywhere, Kuma or Bonnie. Sanji notices that the Thousand Sunny makes it off the Labo phase, and as they start fighting, Nushiro is like, "You would sacrifice yourself," and Nushiro slices Atlas a little bit, and he's like, "No," she's like, "Nope, extra service on the house," and she self destructs basically on Nushiro. We get a continuation of the narration from Vegapunk. He says that 25 years ago, the pirate Goldie Roger completed an unprecedented tour of the world. In conclusion, as you've surmised by now, this is my future my view of the future is thus: as the ship, as the Thousand Sunny starts to fall into the sea, the York is celebrating because she thinks she's the only Vegapunk left. And Emmett is about to square up against both Jupiter and Workery, and he's starting to think to himself, he's like, "Joy Boy, when you said the time is right, I think this counts. I'm gonna use it, okay?"
It?
Nah,
it wasn't the it ... but
it was an it. It was a royal it. It. You know what I'm talking about. It.
Yeah.
He says that. Oh, I forgot this little passage where Vegapunk says that what Goldie Roger heard were likely the purest voices of the past. As that's the end of the chapter. Basically, we're about to get Vegapunk's final thoughts on everything that has been revealed so far. And yeah, this is crazy. Josh, what did you think about One Piece chapter 1120?
Out of all the chapters this week, I will give this to RGC.
Ooh.
I will say this was a pretty calm week in general.
Yeah.
But this was a better one.
Yeah. What about you, Brian? Not yet?
No.
I'm undecided, but
well, there's something very frightening about this derpy worm. This guy was staring at Emmett.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'll save my
to see
decision
nothing but
till
this
my turn when I talk about it. But Josh, you tell us your thoughts.
Yeah. Spider guy, he's about to get launched. He's gonna get sent somewhere really far as well. Just doesn't know it yet. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna make a bold prediction and say that they are going to defeat the Spider guy. And he is not going to be a thing moving forward after Egghead, because he has done way too much. I think he's gonna finally take Kuma out. Like, he's gonna rip him apart, and then they're all gonna just wild out on him, and they're gonna eat crab legs. Well, spider legs, but they probably taste like crab legs.
Yeah.
So, I foresee that happening for sure. That Luffy is definitely gonna consume parts of the giant elder's body. I have no doubt. Emmett is my new favorite One Piece character.
Wow.
He single-handedly saved the entire story in like 2 chapters, and he's just a walking iron gigantic trope. You know what I'm saying? All these things that I love and also hate about manga is wrapped up in Emmett.
The iron trope.
Mysterious, strong guy, but he's actually kind of goofy. But that also means he's really strong because he doesn't have to take things that seriously. But there's so much mystery to him and stronger. All of that stuff. All the good stuff. Yeah, RIP to Atlas, I guess. I mean, wasn't my favorite Stella. I don't even remember what she did. Did she make maps? Did she map out Egghead?
I think she's the
know.
violence Stella. The violence satellite.
Yeah, Atlas is all about hands, giving hands.
Oh. And she lost?
What?
Shame on you, Atlas.
She didn't
lost
lose.
to Nushiro. the lamest.
She technically didn't
outcome.
lose. She didn't really fight him. She just like picked him up and exploded herself. Yamcha, well, not Yamcha.
Why didn't she just
which
beat
is
him up?
which is pretty violent.
It is violent. I'm not gonna say it is right because that'd be a lie. But yeah, she okay. I'm being a little extra right now. I just didn't care about
Yeah, you
Atlas
leave
dying
Atlas
that much,
alone.
but it was pretty sad. I think what was
She
the
saved
most
Lilith.
interesting was yeah, no, that was cool. She knocked her the fuck out, cracked her head open. Said, all right, listen, let her know I said I love her. See y'all on the other side. Is there another side for robots?
Maybe Vegapunk knows the answer to that.
I bet he does.
Well, I'd have to read
Too
the
bad
Bible
we didn't get
again,
to hear it.
but I doubt it
Yeah.
for some reason.
You could reread One Piece, but you can't reread the Bible, Christian. Wow.
Well, I haven't read it once
Wow.
to really reread it.
I guess that makes it better, huh?
Not reading the Bible?
Yeah. Shame. Shame on you and Brian for knowing it, not doing anything about it. I don't really have I did have something kind of serious to say. So I don't know who this Clover man is. I don't know why he's the Clover. I think I used to laugh about a lot of these things I would see in One Piece.
Wait, you don't know who
But
Clover is?
now,
You know who Clover is,
No.
Josh. That's the guy.
There's
I
no
know
way
he's-
you don't know who
that's
Clover is.
Clow D. Clover.
Cloud
He's the one that raised Nami.
Robin.
What?
Robin, I mean. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there you go.
Well,
Well, he
they're
didn't really raise
basically-
her because he's dead.
But she knew him when he was young. She
Yeah.
learned from him. He taught her some stuff. He taught her how to read poneglyph.
Poneglyph.
Yeah, that's how you're supposed to say it.
Taught her how to read
Pony-
Poneglyph.
Poneglyph. So yeah, he's a big deal. But what I don't understand about him is the clover on his head. And like I usually just laugh about that kind of shit in One Piece, but I feel like there's meaning behind why he's Clover. He's a 3-headed clover, so it was bad luck. Well, he didn't have good luck because a 4-leaf clover is good luck. And that's why O'Hara got destroyed.
No, he's a 4-leaf clover. Oh wait, no. In the third, and maybe when he's older, he was 4-leafed. I vaguely remember him being a 4-leaf.
Didn't make it there yet.
Maybe he grew his 4th leaf.
He probably passed that luck to Robin, and that's how she survived. Also found her way onto the future King of Pirates crew. Nice. Who has more swag? Cloud D Clover or Jaguar D Soul?
Clover.
I would also say, I would
Okay.
also say Clover.
Clover got some swag.
Yeah, so
Stall has
I
a
know
fucking
it's-
fedora, bro. It's immediate. It's an
You're right.
immediate removal
You're right.
of swag.
I didn't think about it like that. I just thought because he knew things and they didn't show him as much.
I don't know. I think he
automatically
pulls
made
off
the swag of him.
I
You think he pulls off the
I think he-
fedora?
you know, it looks good on some folks. It works for Saul.
And it works for
talks to him.
Soul.
Mm-hmm.
He's a giant. Why does he have a fedora on?
Because it's cool, Brian. Duh.
As a seasoned One Piece reader, I also understand that, like, when I look at Vegapunk and his massive head over here, that's just because Oda's like that. Not always a message. He has his neuroses. Is that the right way to say it?
Neuroses.
Thank you.
Neurosis?
As neuroses. We all do. We all have our little quirks about us, and that's just one of them. and it makes me appreciate the chapters. Never stop, Olga. Can't wait to see what's next, character-wise. Giant robots, Cloverman, Shia Ludes. Let's go. All right. Brian, what are your thoughts?
Honestly, I surprisingly don't have a lot to say about this chapter.
That is surprising, dude.
I feel like you kind of covered everything. I feel like it's pretty cool that Luffy is the only person who can talk to Emmett or whatever his name is. Nostro is definitely like gonna be okay after that little explosion, which is sad. There have been some people who have been talking about the kind of similarities between Atlas and Ginny, which is interesting.
Who's Ginny?
I hope Emmett survives. I'm not gonna lie.
Who's Ginny?
Ginny's Bonnie's mom.
Oh wow. I don't.
Where they have kind of like the same haircut, especially when they were younger. Like especially when Ginny was younger. I mean,
Yeah, I mean they look exactly the
that's
same
also
almost.
one of Oda's neuroses. Neuroses.
neuroses.
Brian,
You have more to say, Brian?
Oh yeah, those are all my thoughts. I don't really have much else to say.
Yeah, I mean, I really like this chapter. I'm excited to see what comes of this. This is gonna be crazy. Zoro was already in the middle of jumping. I just noticed when Atlas acted. I don't know if he was like trying to block Nustro or what, but he was doing something. Oh no, okay, no, he was going to defend Lilith. He didn't know why Atlas would just suddenly punch Lilith like that. Okay. Anyway, I thought Atlas's sacrifice was noble. You know, good. It's a good thing she was able to help them leave the island. Luffy interacting with Emmett in this little moment was very funny. It was low-key kind of adorable. He was just like, who's he talking to? It was very good. Yeah, I had a good time with this chapter. I feel like I feel bad for Emmett. I know when we inevitably get to his backstory, it's going to make me cry when we find out what Emmett was about, because he seems like such a sweet guy. You know, he's a sweet little dude, and I just know that his backstory is going to be tragic as hell. But I wonder what it is, what his like secret weapon is. I can't imagine it's just a self-destruct thing, you know?
Self-destruct.
Because I think we already got a self-destruct thing with Atlas.
Chaozu!
Chaozu! Yeah, he's gonna just get on one of their backs and explode.
Chaozu!
But I'm here for it. I'm excited that we have One Piece next week. Like, we won't have to wait to hear the rest of Vegapunk's thoughts here. Hopefully he doesn't get cut off again.
Yeah, that's nice.
Wait, what'd you say, Josh?
No, I said that's really nice.
Yeah. Pretty good. But yeah, that's all my thoughts really. I guess it's not my RGC, but I really liked it. I'm trying to see if there's anything I missed in these like tiny panels, but yeah, pretty straightforward. I think Clover inspiring Vegapunk to, you know, get up off his ass and do something was like a nice touch. It was pretty good. But that's all I have to say about One Piece. Should we move on, gentlemen?
You're
All right.
Yes, sir.
Move forward.
Bloody cross.
Jujutsu Kaisen. This is Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 263, Inhuman Makyo Shinjuku Showdown, part 35. Last we left off, we are continuing the battle within the domains of Sukuna and Okotsu inhabiting Gojo's body as I continue to struggle to not say Gojo. um, but yeah, see, there it is already. Okotsu manages to let off a hollow purple as Inumaki manages to use his cursed speech technique on Sukuna. He's basically like, we open this chapter with, Sukuna actually, like, the domains burst and Sukuna is survives, but he's taken some damage as a result. He's not used to using purple, so he destroyed his own barrier because, obviously Okotsu is not accustomed to using a technique as powerful as Limitless. So out of the rubble emerges Okotsu along with Yuji and Todo. And as they're proceeding towards Sukuna, Todo is basically like, I don't care if you hit us too. Once the curse technique recovers, strike with purples as many types as it takes. I'll use Boogie Woogie to evade. And now Sukuna is back in a position where it's difficult to use curse techniques right after domain expansion. And then we see Okotsu falls to the ground. And we see that Kenjaku's curse technique that Okotsu had copied also burned out due to domain expansion. So Kenjaku's curse technique stopped working before even getting to the 5-minute mark. Rough. And Okotsu starts thinking to himself, damn it, if Rika isn't with me, I no longer have the copy curse technique. So, he expected to burn out Limitless, but he didn't think that Kenjaku's technique would stop either. So he was thinking like Kenjaku must have had some workaround that allowed him to act freely after opening his domain. So, he just couldn't figure it out. He's at Okotsu's basically at his limit. And now the guys have to figure it out. As Todo is approaching Sukuna lets off a fucking black flash immediately. But Yuji comes in and I guess he swaps places with him because he does swap places with him. So, Todo is just like trying to keep his composure after getting hit with a black flash. Yuji is trying to box him out a little bit, Sukuna, and Sukuna thinks to himself that clumps of Okotsu's cursed energy fragments of the barrier are flittering around without disappearing. And I think this is Todo actually talking. He's realizing that, hey, this is actually the perfect situation for the Boogie Woogie because he can have Yuji swap places with the little bits of Okotsu's domain that's still flying around, and he does so. He just has him spinning around, and Yuji ends up hitting Sukuna with a dismantle, and Sukuna realizes that he is directly targeting the curse technique and using dismantle to drive a boundary between Sukuna's soul and Megumi's. So he's trying to separate him forcibly by dismantle, which is pretty cool, pretty smart. We get some more narration from Sukuna saying that due to a binding vow, the curse technique's target, narrowing the curse technique target, it rends the souls more effectively than an actual blow. So Yuji's got a binding vow this time. So basically the binding vow in this situation is that Yuji made it so the only target that seems to be affected by dismantle is Sukuna in exchange for being able to carve a boundary between him and Megumi. And Sukuna starts to throw up fingers, which is crazy. I think
He's throwing up his set.
I think that's fingers at least. But yeah. Yeah, he's like, "Ugh. If he keeps hitting me, I won't be able to maintain this body and I'll lose." And we see Yuji continuing to cut stuff. I love the
he is throwing up fingers.
mhm.
Oh, right. That's what he's throwing. I was wondering what that was. Yeah, I see the nails. Wow, he lost the fingers, but he got it right back.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Oh, that was close.
Yeah, we're seeing Yuji trying to. Yuji close.
Yeah, he made him throw up his fingers. I thought it was like his like organs or something.
Yeah.
And then for him to crush it out, just like, all right, but makes sense now.
But yeah, Yuji continues on with his strategy, but Sukuna dodges and he's like, it's not a problem if he doesn't hit me. Todo is thinking that his he doubts his spare vibra slap will register as his left hand, so it probably wouldn't function. I just need one more. Don't fail me now. So he can't pull out his other apparent vibra slap to replace his broken one. So he's trying to do it one last time. I think he hits his head to activate it one more time, and Sukuna realizes that there's no swap, but then he claps his hands. He claps the vibra slap, and Sukuna, we get an angle from Sukuna from below, and we see right above him is the angel about to unleash Jacob's ladder on Sukuna, and Sukuna's like, whoa. He's got the bleach aura going on when there's trouble.
You could see the lines. Look.
Yeah. He's like, whoa.
It's part of the structure, but they're there.
Yeah. But yeah, Toto's technique range has broadened due to a binding vow. I think we actually see in this small panel that his vibra slap is completely broken now. So, after that, we see a flashback where Okotsu has actually approached the angel and explained basically the plan. He's saying, Kurusu, angel, I'm sorry, we may need you at the end. He said, you don't have to participate in combat. We just need you to fire Jacob for the final blow. And he says, we'll make one more all or nothing attempt to pry Sukuna and Fushiguro's souls and make the most of Copy's strength at the end. And Angel's like, Copy's strength? Okotsu explains that decreased awareness of the source of the copied curse technique. For some reason, everyone focuses on what curse techniques I've copied and how many I've stockpiled without ever expecting the original user would make an appearance. So we already seen Sukuna actually fall for that with Inumaki.
Yeah.
So he's like, especially when they know my conditions for copy, they tend to think I've not so much copied as stolen the curse technique. The true strength of copy is you could hold two of the same card in your hand. And the chapter ends with Sukuna looking, and we see the maximum output of Jacob's ladder descend upon him, and that's where we're at. And we won't have Jujutsu Kaisen next week, unfortunately. Rough straits. But Josh, what did you think about Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 263?
I like this chapter a lot. I like this chapter a lot more after rereading it. Like a lot happened. So I got jumbled in this chapter. There's this epic continuing fight scene. I mean, he uses the hollow purple, and I guess it just wasn't what did he say that stung, but he's not used to purple. I guess the point is that he didn't make his purple strong enough. But man, Itadori, Okotsu, and Slappy Hand Man, I forget his name. They pulled up on Sukuna. This has been a long ass fight. Oh, but then Okotsu just drops. Is he dead? Is that it?
No,
is it over for him?
No,
he's dead, guys.
He's not dead. He is not dead.
It's just that his copy technique ran out, so he's kind of like a potato.
He's a brain in a jar, essentially.
Oh my god. Yeah, so he's still alive.
Yeah, he's still alive. He's just potatoed.
So he can survive without the curse technique.
Well, it seems like he can't control his body.
Oh god, so he's like in a coma.
He's not in a coma either, really.
Okay, no. Okay, so here it is. I reread it really fast because I wanted to confirm what I was gonna say. Okay, so what happened here is that Kenjaku's curse technique, which is the body swapping, burnt out due to the domain
Yeah.
expansion. His curse technique is the control of someone else's body. So the thing that Okotsu didn't take into account was that Kenjaku uh, having some kind of a strategy or some kind of binding vow or something for not getting burnt out and not being able to control the body after he uses a domain expansion, which when you end the domain expansion, it burns out your curse technique.
And
You,
Okotsu was
have
under
we
the
ever seen? Wait, I'm sorry, guys. Have we ever seen Kenjaku use a domain expansion?
Yeah, we did.
When?
It was like some big fucking like curse spirit totem pole or some shit.
I do
Really?
believe I recall
I'll have
him
to look
using
this
that.
up.
I think he used it when he was fighting Tsukumo.
But I wasn't sure if it was his curse technique or like his domain expansion or
I think it would have to be Ghetto's.
yeah.
Yeah, he did use it. He used it when he was fighting fucking this lady, Tsukumo.
Oh yeah, it was a nasty totem.
Oh no, it was
All enveloping
his. It was
garbage.
his curse technique.
Garbadatu?
It was his.
What does it do?
Well, it doesn't matter whether he's using
Womb
his,
profusion?
whether he's using his or Ghetto's. It doesn't matter because like unequivocally, when you use someone's domain in that body, because the initial curse technique is the body swap and the body control, that when it burns out, then you can no longer control the body, but you're still just a brain in there. Your brain is alive.
Because he's healed, I guess, properly enough. He
So
can technically still survive because he's in that body.
well, so now
Like
it's
for
it's
all
like
intents and
anything.
purposes, it's a functioning, healthy body.
It's
that
like
can
anything,
support
you know?
brain.
He just has to wait for Kenjaku's curse technique to continue
Okay.
or to like recover.
Wow. So
So he's like kind of
I
immobile.
guess
for
I'm
a
just
second.
thinking of the future. Like let's say they beat Kenjaku, I mean Sukuna, and he wants to continue living, right? He's just never gonna, as long as he never uses a domain or burn out his curse technique, he can just continue to be Gojo.
I
In
mean,
theory?
provided that he can live past this, he has to be Gojo forever. I think he either dies or becomes
Yeah.
Gojo forever.
I mean, his body is still around. Maybe he could swap back.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they could heal his corpse. Maybe they could fix his corpse up so that it's function. Ah, man, I don't know.
There is a theory. Hold on, let me see.
In the meantime, Josh, were those all your thoughts?
Yeah.
Well, all right then. I guess while Brian's researching it, I could give my thoughts.
Sure.
This was my really good chapter of the week. I don't know how Brian feels yet,
Whoa.
but I'm gonna just give it.
Yeah, this is mine.
RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
This was also yours, Brian. You said.
Yeah.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
Yeah, I just really liked the combat in this one. I thought, as complex as Jujutsu Kaisen can get with the rules, I feel like this was very reasonable. It's like playing upon the rules that are already established. I love the way that Itadori's version of dismantle manifests. I love those little scissors that create like a cut line. I just love that aesthetically. It's a really cool thing. Using it to cut a boundary between Sukuna and Megumi is pretty smart.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. It is really smart.
Yeah. I'm hoping it fucking works. My guess is that at the end of it all, Itadori will be able to do it. He will create that boundary, but at the cost of his own life. Because I think he's probably going to get caught up in Jacob's ladder in order to do it. And that might kill him.
Yeah.
But that's my guess right now. I could be entirely wrong.
So there is a theory about Jacob's ladder, and apparently people believe that there's a chance that that Jacob's ladder could separate Yuta and send him back to his body.
I feel like they've explained Jacob's ladder, but do we actually have an explanation for what Jacob's ladder does?
Apparently it separates souls. So there's a chance that maybe if she hits Gojo or Yuta with Jacob's ladder, it'll send Yuta back to his body and maybe bring back Gojo.
I don't know.
It's the ability is that it separates souls. I don't even understand. That's so hyper specific. Like how was that the same ability they used to that was like to get Gojo out of the box?
They got it. That's what got him out of
How did
prison
that
now.
even
Okay, so
what it separated
any-
his soul from the box?
any curse bathed in the light of Jacob's ladder will be extinguished without prejudice, including special grade cursed objects such as Ryum and Sukuna.
Oh, so it's an instant kill for him
Yeah.
if he's hit long enough.
Even though he's been hit by it 3 times.
Well, this is maximum output, and it's
only-
from Angel herself.
Got hit with it before, like from Okotsu.
He got hit by Okotsu, he got hit by Hana, and now he's getting hit by Hana again.
I don't remember Okotsu using it. I know he was trying to.
Didn't he use it inside his domain?
Sukuna was defending against it.
Oh, right.
Oh, okay. So yes, I'm reading the wiki just so I can refresh my memory. But it says before Hana could completely strip Sukuna away, he manipulated her into deactivating the technique. So she could have done it earlier. She could have actually won before. But that big bite moment happened. I don't know, the thing that
Yeah.
injured her severely. But
So
this
it's
time,
not that he tanked it.
She
Yeah,
was thirsting for Megumi, so he survived.
yeah. But he doesn't look like Megumi now.
Yeah,
So
she cut it off.
He got a lot more arms than Megumi, so
yeah, many more eyes.
Yeah, that helps.
what that stomach mouth do?
Yeah. But okay, so that's a comprehensive explanation for what just happened for those of you who are confused. But yeah, I just love the combat here. I mean, it is mostly an action chapter. I do love the little strategic awareness of the copy curse technique and the assumption that it puts into it. Because when you see a copy technique, you're never thinking about where it came from and how that person could still be a factor. You're focused on the copy technique. So really there's 2 of them out there. There could be 2 of them out there. It's really it's a really unique way of using the copy motif in an action in a character's power set. I've never seen it done in this way. So pretty cool. Brian, sorry. What did you think?
This was a pretty sick chapter, not gonna lie. It was cool seeing Toto do his kind of last hoorah. I think this is the last thing he's gonna do in the series, unfortunately. But he did his fucking thing. He even banged the fucking boogie. He even banged the fucking whatever this thing is called again on his
slap.
fucking head to get it to activate. It's so fucking sick. Him and Yuji have the perfect fucking combinations. And kind of seeing them spring into action right away as soon as the domain went down, it was just so fucking sick. This whole arc is just so fucking awesome and fun and cool. I just love it. But I don't have much else to really say aside from that. I just really fucking enjoyed the chapter
Mm-hmm.
and kind of being able to experience it.
Hell yeah. Yeah, great chapter overall. But hell yeah. All right. Well, with that being said, if there's no rebuttals, I guess we could move on, yeah?
Yeah.
Sir.
All right, let's go.
I don't really have to fucking care who's in my way. I'm gonna fucking kill everybody.
Kagurabachi. And with that, I'm gonna pass this one over to Josh.
Chapter number 41, Fervent. Kakurabachi. Last week, I ain't gonna give you the whole Kakurabachi spiel, man. If you either following it or you not. But there's there's a auction going down. They're trying to sell the Shinuchi. I'm doing the whole explanation thing as if. All right, sorry guys. Last week, they almost killed the Sazanami clan's head, the dad, but he burrowed down and decided to use the Shinuchi himself in order to defend himself and to also showcase the sword so he could hurry up and sell it before he dies, because he is dying as we speak. Speaking of, they started. The head of the Sazanami clan started to fight against Chihiro again with the Shinuchi blade, and he couldn't take it out the sheath. He could I guess, but he could still use like the power in it. So he was able to not only use some of its magic, but like clash swords with Chihiro like in its sheath. I figured like most sheaths would get like sliced up, right? Or maybe they're made of metal. I don't know. Anyway,
They made a really hard wood. Usually, I think.
Yeah.
At least. I'm no sword expert.
But you could cut them shits with a sword. It's the magic. It's a magic sheath. So as they're fighting, the Sazanami leader starts to feel like something's invading his head, and it's the master, like the previous sword owner's master, is trying to like telepathically hijack his body. I guess like use it to do whatever he wants. That's pretty creepy. And he claims that he was on the brink of death and too weak to stand, so this is the price you have to pay. Yes, because you wanted to use this shit last minute while you're dying. That's the price you have to pay. Yes, indeed. He takes a moment to lock in, and he says, "I won't give in." Good for you, bro. So yeah, he's like, "Look, everyone, I'm about to demonstrate how beast of a sword this is." He uses a spider technique that creates a cobweb on the floor, and Chihiro can't move. That shit is pretty crazy. And then he says dragonfly, which is like I guess a projectile move, and it looks like Chihiro's about to get smoked. And then out of nowhere, Hikari, Hiyuki?
Oh,
Hakari.
no, Hiyuki is the girl
thanks,
that
though,
comes
Brian.
in, but
Yeah. Hikari teleports in Hiyuki at the last moment, and she flame bone punches that whole situation, which is cool. That's good that she was able to just attack the attacks and intercept them.
Mm-hmm.
You never know with abilities. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just don't want to touch it. But anyway, she looks back at Chihiro and she's like, "Hey, you look like you were really struggling there. Guess I can help." I think Chris could do it better than me. You wanna give it a try?
You look practically dead. I guess I'll help you out here.
I guess. Yeah, if this was One Piece, there'd be a crazy laugh at some point.
Wait.
Yeah. In the middle of that, yeah. See, One Piece is not any different from any of these other series. It's just little Oda neuroses.
Yeah.
It's the difference. Speaking of neuroses, Heyuki's a tsundere, but she's down to fight, so I fucks with that. And she says how Hakari was threatening her life and saying if you try to hurt Chihiro or try to like betray this situation, he's gonna leave her in that desolate land for the rest of her life. That's a pretty big threat, in my opinion. And she agreed. So she said, "I got you." So, I guess her superiors or her fellow um, fucking organization members. I forgot the name of it. The Kabunabi or something
yeah.
like that.
Kamunabi.
Yeah. Ooh, there we go. Kabunabi. They're just like, yo, like who told
my
her to
favorite
pull up?
character
Like, why
shows
is she helping? And that's who's your favorite character? The dude with the
Yeah, he's the 1v1 guy. He puts you in a 1v1 arena.
he's so chill, right? And nonchalant.
Yeah, he's really chill.
That's the new Edge.
The new Edge is chill.
Yeah, Neo, like aloof, hyper aloof. Yeah, so he's just like, man, get off her dick. Let her. She's on a mission, and I guess all the coworkers like, yeah, well, whatever. Y'all taking the blame for this shit. Fine by me. So Chihiro's like, damn, how's he? Oh no, Miyuki, yeah. Hayuki asked, like, oh, like, how the fuck is he still alive with that big ass wound? And he's like, it's probably the power of the sword. That shit is broken. And Chihiro remembered that his dad would like always get really anxious when like mentioning the Shinuchi. And you know, I'll save more of my thoughts for later. Let me stop interjecting. So, you know, Hayuki has her tsundere moment. She's like, don't give me orders. I'll fucking fight how I want. You better just keep up. And Chihiro's like, oh, I'll do you better. And he mimics her fucking ability like Okotsu.
It was so fucking cool.
And,
Holy shit.
Right? I was like, what? And he says, like, yeah, I can absorb it with Akka. And that's news to me.
I feel like that's been established.
Huh?
I feel like that, like,
It's never been.
that was a thing, but he barely uses it because he doesn't really copy techniques like that.
I don't remember this. I don't care. I don't. Whatever. You know what? I'm gonna save my thoughts. He copies the ability. He has the same flame bone. She's only mildly perturbed by that, and they begin to fight. So like, you know, they're wailing on him, man. They're like, she's punching him in his chest. And Chihiro's using long range slashes with the fire, setting it on him, and then he summons these like this fucking centipede like spiral around him. Then says centipede. Oh, not before summoning grass by his feet. That was something he did.
He did
Thought
do
that's
that, yes.
important. Yeah, it's stylistic. It's actually a lot cooler than I'm making it seem. So anyway, back to the centipede attack. He uses that, and I guess it just sends a shockwave. Reminiscent to the Metroid Prime boss in the first game. Shout out to the real ones that played that. Anyway, you know, they're overwhelmed by that attack, and everybody's like commenting from the the auction hall, like, "Whoa, look how strong that shit is, man!" Like he's fighting off another enchanted blade and a whole nother person. That might as well be an enchanted blade. Like, I need to buy this shit. And then he's like, "Yeah, who will possess the Shinuchi?" And he says, and then we get a closing monologue from the Father Sazanami, and he's like, "The enchanted blade is the Kumanabis." Oh no, everyone says themselves like, how they feel about the sword. Heyuki says the Kumanabis, lame. The father says my merchandise. He's just a horrible person, and Chihiro's like, my family's. And that's the end of the chapter. And Kagurabachi will be off for the next 2 weeks.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I made that up, guys.
I actually went to check. I was like, no way.
I forbid you guys take my word on something, huh?
I had to see it for myself. I would have been so sad.
Yeah, sure.
Well,
So, Brian, what were your thoughts?
gets mad at us for him lying.
Pretty sick chapter. It was nice to see the flame bone kind of show up. I didn't know he could copy shit.
Smell cap. Smell contrivance.
Contrivance.
It smells like a Yami Zero to me.
No.
No, not even close.
Oh no.
Yeah, not even close.
Even Coco thinks it's cat. She just came up to say it to me. Contrived.
It's pretty
Anyway,
cool.
as
Pretty
you
cool
were saying,
chapter though.
Brian.
Nice to see 1v1 Arena Man. It was doubly cool to see fucking. Oh, also I did research on the activation word. The
what?
Magatsumi. So I think every curse, every blade has like a activation word on top of it, right? So like for Eten, it's Kuro, right? Which means black. So I was like, what does Magatsumi even mean? And I looked into it, and apparently Magatsumi is essentially kind of like it's like a word that means like a cursed blade or something that's cursed, but it's not necessarily cursed in the way that it's like divinely cursed by like gods or something. It's more cursed in the way that it's cursed by creation. Like that's think like kind of like Oppenheimer's nuke and shit like that. So essentially Magatsumi means it's like a cursed invention. So I thought that was pretty cool when I was looking into it. And the way that it kind of plays out, it does feel like a very cursed item, like a very cursed sword, judging by its stuff. But aside from that lore dump, that small little lore dump, that's all I really have to say about this chapter.
Oh, cool. I love this chapter. I mean, it was very hard to not give it the RGC, but I thought that fire thing was so cool. I thought that shit was so sick. And yeah, I do also like that it wasn't just like a beat down immediately. He actually managed to unsheath the sword a little bit to use centipede, which was like crazy. Okay, so he has used Akka before. He used the red goldfish to block him from any attacks. Whatever attack the red goldfish blocks will be absorbed by it. However, attacks comprised of very large amounts of spirit energy may not fully be absorbed. So he can absorb the attack. Can he reuse it? In addition, after absorbing an attack by saying Akka followed by the name of the absorbed attack, Edted will be covered in red liquid, which then readies in the same attack on the blade. There's no mention of how many attacks it can absorb, but yeah, he has used it before. It happened in chapter 4 or something, it seemed. But yeah. So it's not a contrivance, guys. I'm out here defending Kagurabachi with my life. Yeah, but you know, similar, you know, thoughts as to Jujutsu Kaisen. The fight is just cool. I really like Hiyuki, you know. I love that the design of the bone fire fist thing that she uses. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's just this chapter was just cool, guys. It could be as simple as that sometimes. It was just so fucking cool. Yeah. And very shonen, you know. Had all the tropes going for it. But yeah, that's all I really have about Kagurabachi. Do we have any rebuttals or anything? Anything you guys want to add? All right. Well, then I suppose with that, we can move onward. Hold on. Now, Undead Unlook. With that, I'm also going to pass this one over to Josh.
Okay, Undead Unluck, chapter number 214. Last week, all the negators simultaneously agreed with Fuko that they was going to remember the past loop. It was a very wholesome and joyful moment. Should have been there. It was very nice. We all cried and wept. This week, they are in Moscow, Russia, because the next mission is to find the final negator, which is Tatiana, also known as Untouchable. Was a very prominent character in the previous loop. So, like I said, they're out in Russia. They're trying to look around for where Tatiana is. They're by this area where they're gonna have like this modeling show. So they figure they'll run into her eventually. Tatiana has bodyguards that are like looking for her, and we don't know what happens with that yet. Oh, but they basically realized that like she went missing. I guess she packed like a bag with like a disguise on, so they wouldn't know when she snuck out, because she yearns for freedom. But Fuko is terrified because her ability is particularly dangerous. Very reminiscent of Unchange, where like once her ability does manifest, she's gonna kill like a significant amount of people. They say actually if it manifests here, there's a chance she'll blow the city away.
Bless you.
Thanks, buddy. So, yeah, there's a lot of pressure for them to hurry up and find this girl, obviously. But in the midst of them being worried about finding Tatiana, Billy realizes that his daughter Betty is missing because he is a terrible fucking father. So anyway, we cut forward to Tatiana. She's has a black wig on and a tulip hat. Oh, I found out from this manga that is called a tulip hat. I thought it was just a bucket, but it's not quite a bucket hat.
No, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, right. Interesting. So, she's like, "Oh yeah, it's so good to be out here walking on my own." And then she sees this little girl by this like sweet stand, and she's like, "Man, that looks dangerous, for some little girl to be out here." And she tries to walk by her and like mind her business because she never gets to enjoy a day to herself. And she gets into her better nature and ends up buying the kid a treat and looking out for her because there's no adults around. And then when she asks her, like, yeah, like, where's your dad at? Like, where's your parents? She's like, oh, he's right here, and realizes he wasn't there, and she starts crying. It's sad. But Tatiana's like, listen, I got you. I'm gonna make sure we find your parents. So, they walk around, they're hanging out. Fuko and the crew is searching desperately for them. But eventually, Betty finds her dad. She bolts into the crowd, and so right after this, like right after Betty went to go find Billy, Fuko's like, listen, like everyone pull up to the square, we're gonna make this like plan, we're gonna draw Tatiana in. So Tatiana's like she ends up seeing something on her phone and like heads over to the square, and she realizes this is like huge fucking teddy bear. She's so excited because like that's like it's like a limited edition looking version of these bears she likes to get. I don't know, Panda. You know how that is. as she's running, her fucking wig flies off and her tulip hat. Tulip hat. And everyone realizes that it's Tatiana. The whole crowd is like, "Oh God, the model!" Oh, they all running towards her. But because Fuko's a fucking genius. Oh well, let me not get ahead of myself. So as everyone rushes towards Tatiana, that she starts thinking to herself like, "Damn, I was so close. Like, I only became a model to make her mom and dad happy." And everyone else, and she wanted to be able to touch and interact with all the like people she cared about in her life. But as time goes on, she's she can't just be in everyone's face, and she has to go places. And being famous, you got to be careful. You got to be you got to fight for your privacy. And weirdos are always gonna be chasing you around. She just wants to live a normal life. We get it. She's a kid, but she's just starting to think like, damn, like it looks like her ability is about to start manifesting. When she's like out of the way, like don't touch me, and then out of nowhere, everyone is like, "Oh, isn't that Kururu?" So the negator from the last arc, Kururu, the idol, I guess not only is she has a little bit of I mean, I don't think she's famous outside of Japan, but she does use her unchaste ability to make the whole crowd love her. So they all chase after her and leave Tatiana alone. And now the teddy bear starts to walk over towards Tatiana. Creepy as fuck, but upon closer inspection, we see it's a familiar looking giant teddy bear with a good luck hat and a tie. It is Fuko. As Tatiana starts to introduce herself to the teddy bear, my name is Tatiana, and the teddy bear, Fuko, responds, "I know you from 200 years ago. I came to keep my promise." And she opens her head and she says, "Let's be friends, Tatiana." And that is the end of the chapter. Chris, I do want to ask you about your thoughts, but we're going to break the normal trend, and I'm going to give some thoughts first to get off my head before I forget them and drone on later. So, wow, tell me that's not creepy. I mean, we all love Fuko and all of that. We wax poetic about how awesome a character is, but what was Yoshifuma thinking? This is not a cool image at all. Like,
Yeah, I was just thinking Fuko needs to work on
man.
how she introduces herself to people.
I feel like she drops that 200 years thing every time.
Yeah, it's always too strong.
And
Way
not
too
one
strong.
person is like, "Yo, fuck off." What are you talking about?
No one is off put. I guess because Fugo is an adorable looking young woman herself, but still, fucking weird. And you know what else about Yoshifuma? I really don't care for the character of Tatiana. Not like her personality or whatever, but like the fact that she was always a naked girl, like little girl. I don't love that.
I also
You know what
didn't
I'm
love
saying?
that.
And I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys. Like, it's not that it offends me looking at it. It's whatever, right? But if I'm on a fucking train reading something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's fucking weird, and I can't even be mad if somebody looks at me, never says that something, and in their head for the rest of their lives, they're like, "Wow, what a weirdo!
Yeah.
This guy, he reads naked children art." You know what I'm saying? Like, it's real. I don't know. Like, I didn't want to make it sound super fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But like, it's just I don't know why they do this in their comics. I was I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I was praying there was some type, maybe like she's older at this point. Like, they got her at an older point, so it wouldn't be awkward anymore. But of course not. Nope.
Yeah. I agree.
Not in Yoshifuma. Yeah, I don't care for it. Like, I don't. Sucks that it feels like it tarnishes the whole chapter. I mean, the chapter wasn't much. I mean, there's no tragic backstory or background for Tatiana. I feel like they're gonna give her a bit of a speed run real quick, unless something else develops. You know what? I actually think that her ability is not gonna manifest at all, and they're gonna leave her alone. That's what I think.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Because
don't know
they
how
wanted to do
realistic
that with
it is.
Nico, but Nico kind of needed it.
Maybe there's something they can do that can ensure that her negator ability won't activate, or it could be I don't know. It just seems very like all the other arcs, all the other character arcs have had some type of real direction to it, even if it was short and sweet. But this seems very like
Maybe hers is going to be
Ooh.
very like soul driven, since we're just getting to like soul shit. maybe
rude. I
she's a
really do
very-
hope they expand on that.
She has a lot of spirit, Tatiana, so
Yeah.
makes sense that she would probably be the best at soul manipulation or whatever.
Sure. She had a pretty gangster like combat ability with the robot and shooting the unstoppable out as a blast. That was pretty that was strong. I mean, she's a powerhouse. I don't don't get me wrong, all of that's cool. It's just like she's the little white German girl. Like
Russian, I guess.
are you excited, Yoshi Fuma? Like relax, bro. Relax. She can have a baby. Oh man, they can give her clothes that can work with untouchable. They can do it. They can make it out of her hair or something.
Oh yeah, I didn't think
Those
about
are
that.
my thoughts.
Yeah.
Oh wait, now I can unsarcastically ask Brian what his thoughts are.
Oh yeah, Brian's caught up on
Unless you
Undead
wanted to
Unlock.
get into yours, Chris.
I don't know. I thought it was a little funny. I thought the chapter was a little bit funny, and I like just now realized that. Oh wait, maybe it was a little weird that she would approach a child like this. But I thought it was a little bit wholesome. That aside, like the little mascot is cute. Fuko wanting to be friends with her is pretty Fuko-esque. It's just her delivery is very bad and it looks very bad. But aside from that, I wonder how Billy and Tatiana's relationship is going to be this time around. Considering that he actually has a daughter with him, so you can't really have two daughter figures, right? Maybe they have some kind of different connection this time around.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope that Billy
can't have daughters.
because Billy already has his daughter, and that was kind of like, wasn't that their whole thing?
Yeah, they had
Like
like
in the
kind of a
first
daughter
loop?
father relationship.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so he already has his daughter, so it's kind of like their relationship isn't really going to be the same. It's a pretty wholesome chapter. I'm just curious. I'm also curious, like Josh said, like how this is gonna go. But I thought it was like kind of a cute chapter. But those are my thoughts.
Yeah, I feel like I feel Brian's thing more because when I first read this, I was like, "Oh, this is adorable." But I think it's because we have the context of Fuko's intentions, and we just kind of got
yeah.
It's just Fuko. I realized it today, like literally while you're covering it. I'm like, wow, Fuko really needs to. Like,
yeah. No, we really did realize,
Fall back.
Yeah, I didn't think
Reel
of
it back a bit.
Yeah, I didn't think of it because I was like, well, we know Fuko, but like, yeah, no, I think that's entirely valid. And now that I think about it, it's like, oh boy. So
They composed a devious scheme to get this young girl alone.
it's rough. It's rough when
and pretend to be a mascot so that I can tell her that I've known her for 200 years.
This is literally the plot
Yeah,
of
we should just be friends and then maybe go hang out later somewhere private.
This is quite literally Five Nights at Freddy's. This is kind of what happens.
Yeah, if I were, she better be running away from her in the next chapter.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be funny. If they next chapter she's just
Our security
running.
guards better be trying to shoot Fuko in the
Yeah,
head.
something like that.
For real.
But I think I was just like absorbed because I know it was Fuko. I love the fact that this thing has Fuko's hat and exact clothing. I thought that was adorable, and I like how it came in
Yeah.
because she's always wanted to meet this thing. You know, it makes sense
I
in
thought it was cute
context.
that she was like introducing herself to it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
Um.
Yeah, it's rough, I would say. But we know Fuko. Come on.
For what it's worth,
know
I
you
didn't have these thoughts the first time I read it. I did not. It did not occur to me. And like, sure, am I sensationalizing it a bit for the pod? Maybe, you know. But I really didn't think about it until like I read it the second time.
No, but I do agree with you in the general how Tatiana is portrayed in this series. I never really loved it either. That she had, and even it makes sense logically that her clothing wouldn't be able to touch her. But even as a grown woman, it's like kind of weird. So I was never
How
really
old is she in this?
a kid still. She's still a child.
I thought you were saying that she was an adult now.
No. I'm saying like, as Josh mentioned, like even if she were like an adult, it would be a little weird, but it would be less weird than this. And we've seen that at the very least, it'd be less weird if she was older. And we've seen that Yoshifumi has like displayed that like not everybody has to be the same as they were in the previous loop.
Yeah.
They could be older or younger. But yeah, I mean, I agree with Josh on that front. I've never really loved that part of Tatiana's character, although she is a good character overall, and her power.
Yeah, it did
is very
make me
cool.
uncomfortable
cool.
reading her scenes in the train.
Yeah. But that aside,
Like, come on, man, fucking let her be the ball. Just let her be ball form, please.
yeah,
Keep her
Like, I
in
get
ball
it's a
form.
shonen magazine for young, like for like young teen boys to like, I guess older people too. But like, it's just different. It's just a different vibe
Yeah.
out there in Japan. I guess. I guess it's not as like
yeah, not
whatever. I've
Yeah,
said all I
yeah.
wanted to say about this topic. I don't even want to drag Yoshifuma like that, but it just annoys me.
I agree. But aside from that, I think there's something to be said about how Billy's biological daughter looks a lot like Tatiana.
Yeah, she does.
So I feel like that's gonna
I think that's a thing.
I think that's gonna be a thing. I think they're gonna use that in this arc in particular.
I think it already is. Well, let me, my bad, Chris. Let me explain it. Like, what I mean by that is, like, I think the whole reason he took such a liking to her is because he reminded him of,
Yeah.
she reminded him of his daughter, and I think he lost the both of them the
Yeah.
previous loop. He lost his wife and his child.
Yeah, I'm just saying I think there's gonna be kind of maybe a trading places kind of vibe here.
Oh,
Because they look so different.
Trading
I
places,
can't imagine that they're gonna not use that. Because the design is
That'd be
just so similar.
interesting.
So, there might be like she trades places to do something that would trigger Tatiana's tragedy, but it won't affect her as much because she's not Tatiana.
Oh. Yeah, that's true.
That's my guess. But
It's just always the prospect that like her ability could manifest at any point in her life, though, probably just because I think like the only way to avoid that would to somehow pass on the negator ability to somebody else. And I think the only way you can have succession like that is, I don't know. They haven't really got into all of that.
yeah.
The negator's changed because sometimes it's the same people for some loops, but clearly been different people at other points. So
hmm
I don't know.
I feel like this is also the first time I've seen Fuko frustrated at her team. She seemed genuinely like, what the
Losing them?
fuck? But I think like the time was of the essence here, to be honest. So she was probably just stressed out. But I feel like this is the most angry she's been at her team.
Yeah, she's like, we lost Tatiana. Billy, you lost your daughter. This is a fucking shit show.
What
right
the
now.
fuck?
We don't have anything together.
But yeah, I just thought that was kind of funny. One last thing I'll note is if you look at Revolution Square, that top view of it on page 11, it looks a lot like the mechanical ball that Tatiana's in.
Oh, it does.
Whoa, what?
I didn't think about that. Wow.
I just noticed that. That's very funny.
That's funny.
Yeah. But
Resolution Square.
Revolution Square.
Revolution Square. They're in Germany though?
Russia.
I don't see it.
Moscow, Russia
Is
is the very first
page of
panel.
reference?
Is the very first panel of the chapter.
Oh, the very first panel. Where?
The very
Our
first
mascot
Moscow, Russia.
Very first panel? Yeah.
That's where they are.
Yeah, but like
They're not
where's the
in
ball
Germany.
at?
Oh, 11.
Oh,
page-
no. Like, yeah. Oh, page 11. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm like,
You were looking at
from
it.
the
Where'd you
top
get
down you're talking about.
Yeah.
From the top down.
That little top down panel.
yeah, that's the fountain though, right?
Yeah.
I think it's a fountain.
Yeah, it
But
looks
from the
like
top down,
the
it kind of.
mechanical
Oh,
ball.
that's
she said.
obscure as hell. But all right. I mean, the way I ain't gonna lie, the way Brian reacted, I thought I was about to see Easter egg, but
It is an Easter egg.
Yeah, it is an Easter.
I
egg.
don't think it. I don't
It
think
literally is. You see the little tie where the mechanical thing had the tie? It's a circle with another circle within another circle.
Oh my god! I wasn't looking at the entire fucking thing. I was just looking at the black dot in the middle. Wow. Okay, yeah. I see it. Wow. I did not even notice that.
Jesus Christ.
Good job, guys.
Where the
Yeah,
fuck
that's
did they even
crazy.
get this mascot?
Well, they seem to have custom made it because it has all of Foucault's design on it.
Oh, it has the little Union emblem too.
It has the Union emblem. It has the good luck hat.
That was custom made by Nico.
Yeah, Nico made that.
Nico's the goat.
What if she uses this thing from now on?
What, the
Tatiana.
little
I would be really excited. Like to fight.
Yeah.
the mascot?
Yeah.
That would be cool.
instead of the iron ball.
Yeah.
You talking about Tatiana?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Like
That'd be
Like
adorable.
her, like Foucault's like mascot.
Yes, Foucault's mascot.
Hell yeah.
But they customized
I
it to make it
wanted
look more
sure
like
you
her.
didn't mean like her own. Oh, to make it look like Tatiana.
A little bit.
All right.
I don't know.
Yeah, but like, so maybe not the good luck hat, but like the tie and the
Yeah.
thing else, but like with hair,
Yeah.
long hair. All right, yeah. Or maybe Yoshifuma will be a fiend and make her naked in the mascot, and also
I
the
hope
mascot
to
naked.
God that for
You have
some
one
way
chance.
they find a way to
Maybe
keep her
we'll get
clothed.
that.
You have one chance, Yoshifumi. You can do it. You can change everything.
then
We won't care.
perhaps-
We won't care.
You know how we'll know? Well, you know how we'll know what time he's on when the anime comes out?
So like at the if like his if the outro songs are like R. Kelly songs, we know. Like how Jodeci was at the end of
JoJo's.
JoJo's.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jodeci? JoJo? Jodeci Joestar?
Ha ha.
Wow.
I think that's what they were going for.
Is that the
Jodeci
first
Joestar.
time? Is this the first time in your life that was like a connection you made?
Mm-hmm.
I'm genuinely asking because I feel like if I watched the series, I would have came to that conclusion a lot sooner.
I just came into it. I wasn't thinking about it.
Oh.
That's the name of the episode. Jodeci Joestar will be the name of the episode. I've decided.
Jodeci Joestar.
Anyway, Were those everybody's thoughts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Undead Luck, really good chapter. Well, not really good chapter of the week, but really good chapter. But anyway, that has been Undead Unluck, and that has been our show. Wow, wow, wow. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. You could find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Josh is at JDCole_37 on Instagram, at New Jump City Josh on Twitter. Brian is at b.esp on Twitter and Instagram. Follow him at twitch.tv/itspunchline, where he streams video games. Follow the show at New Jump City on all the social media stuff. Email the show at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about, and we'll talk about it on the pre-show chat show that I hope you guys enjoy and listen to. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Give us a like, share, comment on the video. We want to hear your thoughts on the chapters as well. So let us know. Do all that stuff. Subscribe to us on audio platforms. Pretty much everywhere you listen to podcasts, we're all up in there. And yeah, with that, it's a good show. Good show. We'll see you guys next week. Stay safe, New Jump citizens.